All right, everybody, it is Ron McLeroy, owner of Dead Panic Studios, and I have a special guest here for you. Jerry, Master Xeon 1001, Big Daddy Papa, Big Papa
Yeah.
Burgundy.
Hell yeah. Just the
What's
only
going
guy that
on,
pronounces my
bro?
name right, man.
But yeah, we got Jerry here. He's a lead TD over at Dead Panic Studios, and he's going to go over some modeling techniques for you that we use for one of our creatures that we're doing for a Gumroad. This is the whip in progress.
All right.
So from here, we're gonna find out who Jerry is, what he does, and watch him work. So big Jerry.
All right, guys. So, starting out, I work like 80 jobs. If you go there, I'm probably there working. Um, so you'll see me around. So, starting out showing this thing, the original concept, this thing has grown quite a bit over the process of working on it. However, um, you know, because we have such a diverse group of people, this thing has been able to evolve dramatically. So, it goes without saying that this is, what the first revision was looking like, of course, with textures. And then, begin adding the equipment, layering it up. This is all still, very early. But, the parts worth mentioning is definitely the back. The back, in my opinion, looks great. Press Shift Z, render it out in cycles real quick, and you definitely, see what I'm talking about. And for all you people that know me personally, you already know cycles, real-time rendering, GTX is just awesome. At least in my opinion, as far as open source software, next best thing is to probably get up in Lux Render and let that render the same looking thing that you just saw, but taking only 40 hours. So
And before we get too far, I just want to show off Jeff's concept that he did over. This is basically the direction that we're going. He's going to be in next month showing you his process and how he got to here in our I guess in our next video. But just wanted to give a shout out to him and show where the direction came from what you just saw on Jerry's screen. Go ahead, Jerry. Sorry.
yeah, so this guy's evolved. I was about to get to how he was like boom, 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 boom. Like when I first saw the concept art, because I told Ron here about my idea, and he just took that and got to work on it, and we've been collabing on it. But it was really when he brought Jeff in, and Jeff started concepting that really I started to see the full vision of it. Like I was just telling him earlier before we even started that the concept shows you the potential of what the final vision could look like, at the very beginning. And, you reaffirmed it, telling me, that that is exactly it, So we look at it now, and it's definitely moved along. But for this demo, I was going to talk a little bit about Substance Painter. But over here, you see it. Right now, it's not textured or anything. It's just the maps. But basically, I got both of these objects UV'd and working them over into Substance Painter. So Substance Painter received a facelift right before it started, but showing off my favorite texturing software. You got your HDRIs, you can jump between different lighting environments, and just kind of get more. It's just a more immersive experience. It's kind of it's more intuitive than your usual run of the mill. I mean, they've added all sorts of crazy stuff like depth of field and let's
Yeah, it's a
see.
little bit more artistic and texturing as more instead of procedural. It's kind of like what ZBrush was to sculpting. It's kind of like what Substance Painter is to texturing. I don't know for me. Yeah.
Oh yes, exactly. Like and they added so many great things over the course of this build. Like they added symmetry mode, which is the bomb diggity. I mean, you can literally get your squiggles to go on both sides. But just to plug this guy up real quick and show you what he looks like, with all his textures. You have your layer stack, so we're at a base layer, and we'll switch it out with his green. You already see I got his face on, however, he is very shiny. Let me turn off the post effects so we just see it as true blue. Change this over to 3D view, and voila. So this is just the beginning, and I mean, this guy only has his normal map, which, you know, you see without it, it looks horrible. You know, you add it, but boom, now we don't have to have, you know, 8 million, you know, vert mesh. You know, this guy's missing his tongue. So, you know, forgive me there. I should have exported or put it on the same UV map, but, you know, a little short on time. And the other things is
Horrible, Jerry. Absolutely horrible.
I know. So we also have a couple of other maps here, AO, Cavity. These are some of my favorites. AO, you know, always put that on a fill layer. And, well, we'll start with Cavity, you know, change the blend mode to multiply, start, you know, leveling it in there gently. And we'll just call this CAV, COL. You know, and for this, we want to turn off height, roughness, and metal. We're going to make a separate map. You know, they added the ability now where you can right-click it, and, you know, I guess they did it. You know what? I'll get with them about that. But they were supposed to have added in this version the ability to duplicate layers, which is kind of important to someone like me as a Photoshop person. So we'll also plug in the AO and call this AO. And let's see what happens if we plug the height map that we got from Zbrush on here as well. And now you see that, you know, it just helps the details kind of pop a little bit more. And so, you know, Substance Painter isn't really necessarily needed for this whole thing, but it is one of my favorite programs, and I haven't got to use it a whole lot. So just kind of give a rundown on how it works. Let me remember how my tablet is set up for it. All right.
And while he's doing that, I just want to remind everybody in the audience that we do have a question and answer. So if you do have a question for Jerry or myself, then please just write it in the question and answer, and we will definitely address that question. But yeah, go ahead, carry on, Jerry.
All right. So, you know, I'm gonna put all this stuff in a folder. Call it Purdy. You know, usually there's this last folder at the end I turn on that's like the creme de la creme, and there'll be this one that'll put all my maps on it. So for now, we'll just turn it off and just go through and start painting this guy. Sorry about that. It's coughing for a sec. All right.
Do you need some water? Yeah.
No, the water's just for show. I just keep it to show that I'm healthier now, but
Oh yeah.
to remind me I should be drinking water. So basically, a fill layer is like a layer that completely fills it. You know, obviously a fill layer, but you can choose pretty much any PBR material to fill this thing with, and literally just put fill layers, modulate where they go with mass, and then just go from there. You know, usually I'm painting robots, so I just come in strong with the metal, and I just have a great old time. But you know, for this guy, since he's organic, just go with some skin, and you know, maybe not that color, maybe more like that color. You know, add some layers on top, and just start getting to work on him. So, like I said, they made a bunch of changes before, so I'm kind of tripped out that everything looks the way it does now, because it literally didn't look like this like the other day.
Yeah, I told them that you were going to be doing a presentation on Substance Painter, so you're like, oh, okay, we're going to change it. So that's what they did.
Okay, yeah, that's usually how they work. Now, the cool thing about this is you can press C, and it'll jump through your channels. Like you're like you know, the biggest thing about this program is that you can paint all your channels at once. Like you're painting your height, your diffuse, your specular, roughness, like whatever. If you're part of the old classic system of specular and whatever else the other one was called, versus glossiness and metallicity, then, you know, it works both ways. So, I mean, there's really no reason to not use it. I mean, if you can't afford Mari, you know, because you don't have like $5,000, it's understandable. Just get this program. And here, I'm just gonna get in here and start painting. However, it looks like there's a little bit of slowdown. What the? Maybe lower this down. Now, the cool thing is you can lower your map size down to any size and then jump it back up whenever you want. So 2048 was a bit choking on my computer, I guess, with the Hangout or something. But you know, and this is in no way anything to do with his final color scheme. I'm just going to kind of just show a little bit about how it works. So, usually I start layering in just like whatever colors, just, today I feel like red. And also, I probably feel like deleting this layer and starting over because I didn't give it symmetry for the beginning.
So, where's that? How do you do that? Is it when they add that?
This was like maybe like 2 or 3 versions ago, but it was one of those things that
Nice.
when they added it, I was like, oh my god, that's
That's
good.
right.
Because before I was like mirroring UVs, flipping them over, doing like these baked tricks to get it to fit and work out, and now they just got that suited
Yeah,
up for me.
that's beautiful, man. I mean, that's the reason. It just reminds me of ZBrush in so many ways, man.
Yeah, and pretty soon they're about to add GoZ capabilities to it. So eventually you'll be GoZing from ZBrush over here. The day will
Oh
come. I'm
man.
not saying it's anytime soon, but it's definitely in their roadmap according to their site. So now you're seeing me paint a little bit of blue in. Now also, I went ahead and turned up the height. I thought it did. There we go. So there's the height, and
Oh, I like the color scheme. That's
what the
nice. We're
heck
kind of
is
like
this?
discovering we're kind of like discovering Substance Painter again with this new update, man. There's so many new colors and the menus and all this stuff. It's beautiful.
And like you see, it's a bit dramatic too. So I mean, if we were to put this above the Purdy layer, and we change this to say like multiply, or like screen or lighten, or overlay. Overlay is my favorite. Overlay takes the mid gray and works from there instead of the multiply, which works from the black, and the screen that only works from the whites. So if you're try not to be racist with your color
Right.
mapping, then definitely get with the overlay, because overlay is something that is a bit underestimated, I think, in compositing and mixing. But we're just gonna put it on normal for now and just get back to painting. So
So yeah, I mean, again, you're not. So you generally don't paint in the layer style that you're going to use at the end.
yes, and
Okay.
in fact, take over for one moment, Ron. Someone happened to have appeared at my door.
Oh, sweet. Well, we do have a question from Nathan Fedrero. Is saying when learning new software or when major updates happen, what do you do to stay up to date in the quickest way possible? Books, YouTube, documentation. But no, with ZBrush, they usually have like a lot of videos whenever the new stuff comes out. And so does Substance Painter. They usually have like a YouTube. So for me, I'm a visual learner, so I try to, watch videos and also um, you can go to zbrushhangout.com, hang out in some of the rooms. There's Level Up, there's Polycount. Get in those rooms. There's just, everybody's, new software. Everybody wants to try it out, and there's always going to be someone there to help you.
All right.
And also, Brad is extremely disappointed in you, Jerry, because no one likes a mumbling lizard. Where's the tongue? Where's the tongue?
Oh, oh man, the tongue is still in ZBrush. I had a little bit of preparation. I could show y'all how I would UV it, but I only got half an hour, so I want to keep it interesting. But yeah, Brad's our animator.
Yeah, but thanks for the questions, guys. And if you have any more, please feel free to ask. As you were, Jerry, as you
All
were.
right. So took care of the thread at my door, so now I'm back. So another thing is, to quote Wes McDermott, who is, one of the people who plays a large role in the development of this particular program, roughness is king. And what I mean by that is, get in here. If you're playing with Substance Painter for the first time, I definitely recommend turning off base color and painting only with roughness. And you don't have to go to roughness to paint with roughness. You can just start from base color. Like these are like you have all these layers, and then you have these layers of layers, right? Because I'm painting multiple channels on this. So if I wanted to turn off just the height differential, then you probably can't see it over the screen cam, but there is definitely It's a little bit of changing in there, but it's probably real subtle. But same thing with roughness. So if we make a layer here and we just start painting in, say we'll just go with cobalt as a preset, you can really have a nice time just getting in here and just painting in just the wetness. And that's really what roughness is to me. In VRay terms, roughness is more like a dirt layer, but in everything else, it's more like almost like a ward blend kind of thing. But I'm still very new to the whole PBR thing. But when it came out, I took to it immediately because I saw it was the future. Because someone was saying it was the future. I was listening to him. He's like, "Hey, this is the future." Well, yeah, we can get up on that.
The
And so
future's
I
good,
got
right?
everybody on it now. Like this is literally one of my favorite programs. It's just that's my only shame. The only thing I don't like is that it's at the end of the pipeline. So I have to go in and make stuff just to be able to get around to getting to playing with it. But right now you're seeing me paint just roughness alone. So, and I'm also using just this brush. Let me go to something a little more artistic, like the artistic brush.
I
And
hear
this,
that one's extremely artistic.
yeah, man, it's not as artistic as Artistic 4. Artistic 4 smashes on Artistic 3, but
Oh, that's true. That's true.
let's get in here, keep painting. And so you see that right now I got this kind of wet effect going, so we're just gonna, my apologies on having to paint using so much PBR stuff. Usually it was really way different like the other day, but don't even worry about it now because Painter is now going into beta. So that means if you buy it right now, you get a small discount versus if you wait for it and wait for all your friends to tell you about how awesome it is versus now. Like if you get it right now, you probably get I think like $100, $120. But if you wait, you're gonna be
Yeah,
paying a little
man.
bit more.
Yeah, you're gonna eventually be paying $600 by version 4. Six,
Man,
700 bucks
it's
for
getting
it.
it's getting serious. I mean, it's already mixed
Yeah,
with Substance Designer, which if you don't know what that is,
it's
you
also
definitely
amazing.
got to check out Substance Designer. But I must warn you, it's a lot more technical. Because you're dealing with nodes. Nobody likes dealing with nodes unless you're crazy. And I personally like dealing with nodes, but I mean that's not saying anything about my sanity. I'm just saying, and a little bit of roughness. I can go in here and just lower it down a bit and just even it out. And let's see, I still got this layer under here, adding color. So if I go here under base color, change its blend mode to say overlay, like we were talking about previously, and lower its opacity. You see now I'm just injecting a little bit of color here. I go back to the roughness of this one and start dealing with the amount of shine that comes in just at certain points. So I would keep doing this, just keep layering stuff up until it just gets to the point of export. You're probably wondering, how do you export? Well, guess what? Right click, export all channels. Wow, that is great. So this has also changed. I should definitely have checked this out before this started.
I think that probably would have helped. I think that would help. But I mean, but Substance Painter also, this also is another credit to the program that the update has come out. We have not used it since maybe an update or two, but we can still just jump in and start using it just freely and still use the same principles that they had since the beginning.
And let's pretend that we exported this. Let's pretend we cared about these colors. Don't judge my colors. Um,
Don't be a colorist.
wow, there's so much in here now. All right, then I'm gonna choose to export it. Wow, I'm gonna have to write these people literally about how awesome this new update is. Like I see a lot of stuff that I'm about to be coming back after this thing's over, and like getting down on. Like this is just the tip of the iceberg. Like I want to get in, just kind of show painting, because if I start talking about substances and all the stuff over here and how I approach robots, it'll just get out of control. And
So Trevor is saying he expects nothing less from a robot man.
Oh yeah, well,
And
definitely, it even lets you open a folder where it puts your stuff at now.
what?
So that means I can go back over here and paste it in the directory where all the wretch files are located. So I really like it. So let's see how it looks, over on the other side of the spectrum. Like let's say we were trying to take this guy into Marmoset. So
While you're setting that scene up, we have a question from John Carter. He is asking how is Substance Painter going to stack against texturing in Mari or ZBrush?
I tell people that this program is a poor man's Mari. Like um, if you can't afford Mari or you can't get
I wouldn't
Mari.
say poor man's, but definitely extremely affordable.
Yes, and it's not even so much value as its reason. It's really just, I'm really big into the whole PBR thing, and I really just really like algorithmic style. Like they've been around for a minute. I've been watching them. I'm determined to get these people to support my favorite program. So once they do,
Which one is that?
that is the Big B, also known as Blender.
Blender.
They call it Blender. But yeah, once that's supported, I'll be set. I'll be having substances. I'll be having nodes in my node editor. I mean, I'll have their nodes in my node editor, and once I have that, all the power will be mine. It'll be like when the five Planeteers put their rings together. But this guy gives them some time. So I'm plugging these maps. In fact, you see, this is pretty much all there is to it. Is just coming in here, plugging up the normal. Um, let's put in the spec. That's the spec. That's weird. All right, and let's put in the roughness. Well, the gloss. Remove this one because that just doesn't make sense to me. What's he doing? He's determined to make a fool out of me. Or maybe,
I think that they
uh,
just had an update about that. Yeah.
man, all these updates, and this program's last update, on the last episode of Marmoset Ball V, they added support for, I think, Dota texturing now. So, I mean, there's so much stuff in 3D I've been wanting to get around to trying out that I just haven't got to yet. But my goal is definitely to experience and enjoy it all. Um, so here, where do we turn off the backdrop? I like blurring the sky a little bit sometimes, make it look like it's in a flashback from Naruto. Um,
Those are always amazing.
their flashbacks are always amazing. That's how you know the enemy hits you hard. It's when you have
Yes.
a flashback. But over here, drop it in, bam, already ready for Marmoset and everything. And so you could keep going over here, editing, exporting. So onto a more interesting thing. Let's see. I'm gonna try to import the model itself, or actually, I bet I'm boring y'all with painting now. Ron actually introduced me talking about modeling stuff. So,
Yeah. Where the hell is that, Jerry?
let me show y'all just a couple of tricks that I would use. Like, let's say Ron busted out and was like, "Hey, I want this guy to have a cape." I'm actually a big fan of capes.
Damn it,
So,
Jerry.
I gotta give him a cape, dude. I mean, he's a wretch, so he doesn't get a cape because he's a villainous person. But also, my luck, my headset's now dying. And I got very little time left, so I'll just throw this trick in there, just to conclude it. Dang, not enough time, not enough time. Especially talk about this
If you need,
project. Like this,
yeah, if you need to take a little bit more time, don't rush it. If you can do, it's got to be the best cape these people have ever seen.
oh,
You
best
know,
cape. Oh, then my bad. I ought to put it in the right position then.
yeah. There we go.
And so, let's see here. A good thing about the bevel in Blender is that you press Control B to start it, but when you roll the wheel, you start rounding it. So I always just do this. I always just create these hard edges, and then just round between them. And it's just kind of a quick way for me when I'm modeling. Um, for you Blender folks that are catching me today. Um, So use a little proportional editing. In fact, I'll even turn on keystrokes like a classic user. All right, and after setting that up, we're going to add some modifiers. So Control 2 to add a sub D level 2 as a modifier. Go ahead and hit cloth. Let's do some pinning. We'll just take these verts, Control G, make them a group. And in weight paint mode, you can see what a group is. That's it. So if we go under pinning, we can pin that group. And now when we run the sim, it's just a cape dropping down. But making it collide with the armor, in my opinion, is going to be a little hard on the computer, especially considering that we do have his body that we could duplicate, move to layer 4, and this is why I'm always talking fast. And for you people that are watching my Gumroad, is because there's always some time constraint on me, but
I can't work like this.
It's not nervousness. I'm telling y'all, it's not nervousness. It's time efficiency.
Jerry's one of the coolest people. Like not like cool like you want to hang out with him, but like cool as an attitude and everything like that. And he's also cool. Like you.
Oh yeah, as long as you're not calling me on the phone, I like you. As long as you don't call me on the phone. I don't even have a phone in real life.
I mean, that should be kind of weird.
Only people that are capable of using a computer can contact me. So we run this, and you see the cape begin to drop down. But let me tell you, this guy doesn't even have collision. I already can tell. All right, so now we'll let it go. And even while it's simming, I can still use the viewport. I mean, not very fast, but let's stop it for just a second. I know y'all are like, let's see some cape action. I promise y'all are. In fact, we're going to turn this off just so it's fast, just to show y'all kind of what it would come out like. It sure is it's dramatic watching a cape fall so slow.
I mean, I'm in awe. Actually, I didn't want to say anything because it's beauty.
It's not a beauty yet. The real beauty is when you add some sort of motion in the cape, so it's not just falling like a housewife's curtain or something.
I know, man. What's up with that? And again, for anybody that's in the audience, if you do have any questions, any comments, please put them in the Q&A, and we'll address them. And thank you to everybody that is here watching. We do definitely appreciate your time.
Oh yeah, whoever you are, I like you already.
Yeah, we're probably best friends.
I was actually assuming that we had no viewers, but good to know you're out there too, Brad. That's my brother. But anyways, just to let y'all know, I do have a YouTube, youtube.com/MasterZeon1001. All of you must go and subscribe. All of you must go and subscribe. No, but I wasn't doing that.
Nice.
All right, so add in one more, and we'll make it a win. And we'll scale it up. I mean, we're probably not supposed to, but we really want this thing to have a little bit of action. And so this thing is red, which means it's off, which that's handy. I did not know that, man, every program is adding these little updates. I'm glad the game is, dang, some intense caping.
I mean, that's the only kind.
Need a Cape Crusader.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now this one's too dramatic,
Too much drama.
Too much dramatica.
Oh man, it's beautiful. It's like greater than the sun rising.
Yeah, I have horrible attention span problems. Like that's why I'm always struggling to try to get faster at modeling, because I feel like I could only ever do the stuff I want to do unless I had the patience, the ability to make it within one day. So let's see if we can help this thing out a little bit for the sake of the audience, and then I'll actually just stop being impatient and let it render. And so while we're waiting on that, I'll show you all another tragedy. Bam. That is what my hard drives look like right now. I got serious problems I need to deal with.
Yeah,
So
you
that
need
could
to
also be
just
part of
clean
the
up,
speed.
bro.
Oh man, it is brutal. It is getting bad. And like, I shouldn't even be on the computer. I shouldn't even be on the computer. I shouldn't even save another file. 6.75 gigs. That's another project right there.
Yeah, you need
Good
a you
old
need a disc cleanup, bro.
good old Sunday project right there. I'll fill up that hard drive and done for.
Mm.
Also, this thing is not showing divisions. There we go. All right, my mistake. So this is the final sim.
Because it's gonna be the final.
Oh yeah. Totally the final right here.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not gonna be perfect. There's gonna be a little penetration. I could play with the values of the quality. Just know that it will choke. It will choke so hard. So I don't
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, we don't like that.
Yeah, don't like choking. I
And
mean,
modeling.
I'm watching this cape choke right now. But I'll sit back and watch that. Maybe open up my paint, draw a picture of the cape. In the position that I want it to be. I just want it to be like, you know, like a spawn cape.
That's
But
exactly what it looks like, man.
exactly. And I'm not the concept artist. We have a guy for that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. We have a guy for that. Jeff Paulsrud is the co-owner of Deathheading Studios and fucking amazing 2D artist. And he's also been doing his 3D thing as well, and I cannot wait to see him meld the two together. It's gonna be great.
these concept artists are dangerous.
I know, man.
3D. It's horrible. They pick it up so fast it makes you feel
Stupid.
inadequate.
You
Yeah.
know?
Like I gotta, put down people to keep them from rising up.
Right, I got to step on him. The Groat is saying he strikes me more of a scarf guy.
Oh, scarves! Don't even get me started on scarves. If we were to stop this thing and say, hey, we did want to give him a scarf.
No,
In
no,
fact,
no. We're done with the claw sounding.
all right.
Yeah, yeah. But definitely, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Big
Oh yeah,
change here.
kind of caught me a little bit off guard. I should have better prepared, but we are deeply in the middle of this project. So I mean, like the head just got redefined like yesterday.
Last time. Yeah.
Yeah, and the armor got built like the day before. So this
Yeah.
guy's like, we're trying to build up a system of moving these things through, pretty
Workflow
fast through everyone's
pipeline.
skills, like a team workflow.
Yeah. I prefer it if everybody had a hand in it than just me just doing it on my own. That doesn't seem as fun, or it's like you don't need to do it by yourself when you're with the team. But yeah, awesome, man. Oh, it's finally working. There we go. That's good. Just a little after sculpt, and you're good, bro.
All right, so here, let me.
Yeah.
Thing choking me out. So after applying a couple of modifiers on this thing, I could just grow it up, delete the part that did not look very capey. Brad's distracting me, getting me talking about scarves. Fine coats, fine coats. We got a great partnership on that here at DP.
Yeah.
Got Victory Coats and
Coach Persis.
yeah, nothing to do with bearskins whatsoever.
No. We're totally vegan.
No bears harms. And so after adding the solidify and the subdivision, the next thing is just sculpting it around, getting the shape in there. I can even come back through here and come out of sculpt, turn off solidify, and maybe turn off subdivision because I already applied it, and even add another cloth sim on it again. And this is just some basic stuff that I do, just kind of on the fly. But I could come in and just completely let this thing just go through and just add another layer. And then it's like, hey, what if I want to send this in a marmoset? Well, we could come in here, apply the cloth, go in sculpt mode, because you have your modes here. texture weight, vertex, sculpt, edit. You know, I made a Gumroad video that is free, so I mean that's why I'm not even going to explain this because you should see it. It's free.
Where they go? Where they go?
Gumroad. I don't know. I'm gonna have to put the link in the comments or something, but it is definitely all over my social media. But you know, after pushing it again, I can even come through and decimate it. Which Blender has a really nice decimation system. If I come out of edit mode, where I can literally, you know, decimate Zbrush style. You know, just pull a lever, decimate the heck out of it. I mean, you can't beat that.
That's pretty quick.
You also have unsubdivide. Unsubdivide is one of my secrets because basically it removes subdivision levels. So you can run a sim that's super, super complicated and just remove sub D levels one by one. Now notice that there's a little triangle faceting. That only happens because I mean, up to a certain level depending on how many you remove. But usually I just go in and either delete them or clean it up. But, you know, this one is just a test example. But, yeah, decimate is just for the win. But, yeah, I'll close off on that. You know, run in and talk about a little cloth. No, I didn't want to brag too much about the armor. But, yeah, I totally love the armor.
Yeah, armor looks great, man. All right, bro. Well, Brad's asking for an entire wardrobe. Go. Entire wardrobe. Go.
Is he asking me to go about wardrobe now?
No. But yeah, wanted to. Did you have? Does anyone have any other questions for Jerry before we let him go?
No, that's all right if y'all don't. I am 7 minutes over.
Yeah. What's up? All right then. Well, yeah. I guess I'm gonna go into where we started with this project. Jerry and I, we wanted to show workflow of how we get take an idea through DPS, and we wanted to do kind of like a biomechanical creature, and we're sitting around and we just started sculpting, and we didn't really have a direction, but we had just an idea, but we had to find Jerry said let's find a title. So I was well, what are we going to call this guy instead of just like this creature? What is he? And so we sat down and tried to find some words and things, and we just came up with the wretched, and it's the definition is a person of despicable or base character, which perfectly describes me. And so I want to give him kind of like a backstory.
Hard on yourself. Too hard on yourself, bro.
And I wanted to give him kind of like a backstory because I really love having a purpose to the character. Why is he there? I don't want to just create something that it's just like an exercise. I want if you want it to have life, you have to give it life. So we just a quick little bio, just like 2-3 sentences. It is a laboratory experiment to be used in terms of aggressive negotiation. Basically, he kills people. And he is an avatar for the man behind the throne, so that the king can never be directly accused, and his hands will always be clean. And if you have ever seen the wretched, then you are lying, because no one has ever seen him and lived. And so this guy kind of sounds like a dick to me, and so that's where I kind of started with all this. I was going to see if anybody was going to catch it, but I was trying to go as phallic as possible. We try to make him as phallic as possible, but yeah, this was the first iteration. We're just throwing stuff around and seeing.
No, I see it now. No wonder I didn't like it. Oh man.
Yeah. So we started there, and let's see, and so we just wanted to throw something on there, and I was like, okay, well, this is kind of like the body style that we're going to go for. So let's go on and move to the head, and just explore that for a bit. And this is just a quick first pass. I think this is like 40 minutes, And I was just trying to get something, some type of shape, some type of angles, and just a direction so that we can know whether we like it or not. Do we want to go in that direction or do we go somewhere else? And so you just have to fully commit in one direction, know that it could change, and be ready for it. And if you're a sculptor, then what you get to do is sculpt more. So I mean, how is that a bad thing? Um, and let me see. And so that was the second iteration. Okay, okay. And this is the third iteration. So again, wanted to. Uh, I was watching the Zbrush Summit, and Justin from Ironclad Studios was showing a Scott Robertson technique. Was that correct, Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
Photo fashion.
Yeah, yeah. And so basically, this guy, Jerry, really wanted to try doing a large mech because most of his mechs are, normal human size. And so, we want to try to do something different. I haven't done a creature in a long time. He hasn't done a huge mech in a long time. So we just so I thought of it's a tank, so let's find some images of tanks, and went online, took an image of a tank, and made a desaturated it, cropped out a really interesting piece, and just started dragging it on here with a standard brush, and just trying to find some designs, and just started marking stuff in. It's just, again, we're in the design stage, and uh, we're in its first conception. There's no reason whatsoever why you should be spending hours and hours and hours on this type of thing. So, again, this was about another 40 minutes to an hour from here to there. And again, we just dragged some images, and I again just whatever shapes I saw in there, I just pulled out and started repeating them, and it just gave Jerry a feeling, and that's that's all this is. It's nothing final in the design. I just want Jerry to look at it and be like, oh, okay, okay, okay. This is kind of what we were. This is a direction that we were going into. And this green part right here is all Furio Tedeschi. This is all his stuff. He does it all the time, and I've always wanted to use it, and so I stole it. And thank you, Furio.
That's what's up, dude. Still.
And so here's so we got the concept art from Jeff. And what we did was we gave him the concept sculpt in like a 3/4, and this is what he painted over it. And we were talking together. We got in a room and started talking about what we wanted, made sure that he was clear on the same backstory that we all were, that we're all coming from the same, part of working with the team is making sure everybody is on the same point, on the same goal. Everybody's coming from the same foundation, so that the end product may have gone left or right, but it's still going to make it better in the end. So I let him run with, what he wanted to do. He immediately started thinking of a prehistoric armored fish, which is right here. So I found this. I'm not sure who sculpted it. It was on a whatchamacallit, it was just on a site that was describing, prehistoric fish, and this sculpt was in there. So whoever did this amazing job, that's a beautiful, beautiful sculpt. But I kind of took some ideas from here, especially in the front and around the eye. I really like how non-descriptive it is, so I got to figure that out, and also the areas around the mouth looked really good. Also, Brad is a rigs and animates for us, and he's going to be doing one of these for us as well, and he'll actually be rigging this character in the end, and it reminded him of something. And so this is Sam Shirat. Last name is Shirat. This is called Fury 1. What I took from this was this area right here. Is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The transitions from bone to skin and from bone to teeth is just beautiful. I love how he, incorporated some shark teeth in here.
I totally freaked when I saw that thing. I was like, oh my god, where did you get that picture from?
Yeah, it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and why not honor it? I don't know if I'm doing any honor to it, but this is so beautiful that I have to be inspired from it, and I also have to share it with everybody else, and I also have to steal it. So that's the way it works. Um, but yeah, his wrinkle work is beautiful. In the Gumroad, I'm definitely going to go over how to recreate that. Also, Brian Wade, he has one at UArtsy, which is basically where I learned all I know about creating skin wrinkles, and it's definitely worth the money, definitely worth your time watching. He is a master and did a great job explaining over the internet how to do it. So I like to have a big portion of it for the face, just because so I can zoom in here, and then just the overall idea. So I still get the same feeling. It's nice and small and in the corner, but all these together we used to take it to this level. And again, we're not stuck to this concept art. We're not stuck to it. This is just the feeling of it. This is what we want to feel whenever this sculpt is done. But to go over some things I really, really like about it, and things we haven't gotten to yet, is right here in the help me out, Jerry, cables. It kind of looks like a fin in the back. So we're definitely going to work with that and have fun with it. And Jerry was showing me some mesh work that he was doing, that also, with cloth. It was kind of like a micro mesh thing in Blender that we can definitely put in here to really emphasize that fin idea. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's all about trying the process and experimenting as much as you can, because it's all digital. It's not costing you anything but time, and in the end, you're going to learn something valuable to further your career. So again, so we brought it here, and it was really, really, really fun to sculpt this. It was so much fun sculpting this character, because Jeff is really good about leaving a lot for you. He's not leaving. He's giving you so much of the impression of what should be there, but he's not giving you minute details for you to follow and for you to follow a direct wrinkle or anything like that. He's suggesting it, and that's what we love about Jeff's work, especially in our pipeline. And it allows us to be free. It allows us to be creative, but the end product is always there. It's always going to look like that concept art. And but yeah, it's the Gumroad. I'm showing a time lapse of all this because it's pretty much just move brush, form soft brush, and Damien Standard, and that's all this is, and just moving and pushing and pulling and going over and going over uh, the forms, and just experimenting with them. And luckily I'm able to not have to follow every single thing here. I can also be creatively free, just as Jeff was, just as Jerry's going to be whenever he gets to his next stage of modeling. And then whenever it's rigged and animated, the character and the feeling of it, that's Brad. That's him. That's who you're getting. And and that's how we work together. So yeah, if anybody has any specific questions, I'm done. I'm done talking. Yeah, all right. Well, I guess that's well. Oh, here we got a question. When getting concept art for a typical product, do you prefer just a 3/4 view so you can interpret it, or have more artistic freedom, or would you rather have full character turnarounds for maximum reference? I'd say for client work, I mean, for me, I guess it goes out to you as well, Jerry. For me, when it comes to client work, I like every step to be approved. That way, there's no time wasted. So, so for that, I would probably have, a complete turnaround. It wouldn't have to be extremely detailed, but everything would have to be figured out in its impression, and then I would be able to move forward. And for you, Jerry, same goes to
Well,
you.
work stuff, straight, follow their rules. Like whatever they say. Like if they give you concepts, reference those concepts hardcore. Like Ron, in the process of working with him, it's funny. I remember one day he was showing me how he deals with, getting stuff with concept art, and he was explaining it to me, and it was definitely some beginner stuff. And I was like tripping out. I was like, wait, I do know how to use ZBrush, man. But he's like, no. I mean, I got to show you how to use it for this job. And it was just kind of opened my eyes, because when I do stuff for clients, I follow their images. I adhere to what they request. But when it comes to my personal work or stuff I just do for fun, I just kind of do approximation. Like I just practice kind of looking at it by eye. So I like the 3/4 views and just being able to model with it as an influence, not so much as a adherence. Because once you start putting limitations, it's less fun. But whenever you balance between the two, you can get better professionally while still, maintaining that level of creativity, I guess, in your personal work.
Yeah, because Jerry's really good with modeling. So like, whenever if you give me some type of a rough sketch with an organic creature, then I can definitely figure that out. Because that's my strong suit. And for Jerry, it's definitely modeling and using Blender, and he's taken like an engine from not even a 3/4 view, maybe like from I don't know, a 5/6 view, and made that thing look like that image, and it looked functional. And that was just a sketch that he did in like an hour and a half, and then he moved on. And uh, it's if I have a 3/4 view and an organic, then again I can probably figure that out. But again, the more information, the better. But if you don't have it, then you can't cry about it. You need to move on. You need to use what you have and keep going and keep going and keep going. And in the end, a client is hiring you for your talent. So don't ever doubt your talent whenever you're doing that. They're hiring you for you and for what you do as an artist. So if they send you a 3/4, that's because they trust you enough to be like, I trust you. Just make this you. Make this. This is why I picked you to create this 3/4 view. So yeah, just believe in yourself. You don't need every single detail, and just power through and keep going and keep going and learn and learn and learn.
Like more pressure you put on yourself, the less fun it gets. Try to be free. I always tell people that when they're using software, especially Blender. It's real easy to go in 3D software and pretend it's CAD, and get all CAD with it. Don't do that. Be free. Just proportionally edit. Just move stuff. Don't get stuck constraining yourself to being held down. If you're doing that, just go in ZBrush.
Yeah.
Go use ZBrush, because ZBrush is an example of what you're supposed to be doing in your 3D app.
Yeah, right. That's how free flow it should be.
Like that's how I
We
work.
need
I
to
just
save
look
someone,
at
Jerry.
ZBrush.
We need to save someone. All right. All right. So Jimmy Lane is asking. I just got back from visiting SCAD and considering going there for my MFA. From your experience, what would you think would work best? An art school, quote unquote, scenario, or just going the online U artsy route?
Nah, don't go to school. Don't go to school. Well, maybe. Everyone loves American Pie. Like I go have the college experience
Yeah.
again. I don't know, but you shouldn't do that. You should actually, if you believe in yourself to, stay dedicated to something and like live on your passion and maybe be poor and eat a bunch of ramen noodles and, find yourself being rejected a bunch at first and then, slow following and basically if you're self motivated, go the online route because it's a lot cheaper. But school isn't. I'm not gonna completely bash it, but I could say that like I pay a bunch of debt because I went to school and I found out I hated art when I went to school, and then I found out I liked art when I wasn't in school and I was paying debt on it, which is kind of ironic. But it seriously is
But
what happened to me.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I would not go uh,
Art
to
Institute.
a college. I would not go to a college
Oh, I
to
thought you were gonna
learn
say something.
CG. If you're going to go to an art college for CG, then I would go to Gnomon or something like that. I would go hardcore all the way, or the Art Academy or something like that, depending, if you want to go 2D or 3D. But again, like Jerry said it perfectly, if you are self-motivated and you believe in yourself, you do not need to go to college to learn CG. You can go to ZBrush Hangout, level up,
Bingo.
polycount. You can hang out with professionals or people that are trying to be freelancers and professionals and are working there and are succeeding and can help you along your way at no, it doesn't matter where you are as an artist. You can go in these rooms and learn so much. Or find a
Even
friend,
Lunch Crunch.
yeah, or go to Lunch Crunch on Facebook, and you can just find friends that you can learn from and hang out with in a Google Hangout whenever you're sitting down and working. Instead of working by yourself, work with other people online. It doesn't make. I mean, there's people that just need to sit down and concentrate and work on their stuff. But if you're just experimenting and hanging out, or you want to learn, then come into the one of these video hangouts and just make some friends, man. It's so easy. It's so easy to make friends in this business if you are hungry for knowledge
And
and
it's
you are
support.
respectful and supportive. Yes, absolutely.
You probably need to do it. Like networking is an important part of 3D. Um, Surprisingly, I actually happened to have gotten lucky. Like I remember before I even found ZBrush Hangout, I was like, I'm gonna meet those people. Those are the people I want to hang out with. I wrote Christopher Vaughn a letter and was like, dude, we should hang out. He's like, I don't know you. I was like, exactly. We gotta fix that, bro. We could be best friends.
We can
We
be
gotta be
totally
on.
best friends right
Yeah,
now,
dude.
bro.
We could be on your show, dude. I'm a funny guy. Oh man, someone's at my door.
Oh yes, but yeah, hopefully that answers your question, Jimmy. But yeah, 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 definitely. But good luck in either route you take. Good luck to you, and help you succeed, definitely. And John Carter is asking, well, while Jerry's gone, have you found any good methods to retopping hard surface models in ZBrush, or what is the workflow for that? I don't know, for hard surface, I would consider just going straight from modeling, but now that the new ZBrush is coming out, I might just not have to go into another program to model it out. But I'll always use other programs to retopo, precisely like Maya and things like that. What about you, Jerry?
All right, now, whenever it comes to hard surface, there's quite a bit of ways I approach it. Let's start off with just ZBrush. I always give people this thing called a robot demo. I'm not going to do that today, but just know that I could literally um, get some ZBrushing happening, pretty quick. Whenever it comes to some quick robot action, let's switch this over to the slice curve. This is one of my favorite brushes, so we'll just look at this in polyframe. Um, one of the things about the slice curve is that it just does not care. It just slices, all sorts of tries and stuff in this. I mean, you don't care. You're a sculptor. You're using ZBrush, so everything looks like this. You're never looking at it in polyframe anyways. But, the slice curve is definitely important because you can come in here and literally, like, hit panel loops and just instantly, like, put panels in here. And so I actually turned off double, which means that everything is still together. So if I change my behavior to, like, mask by poly groups or something, and just started pushing this, I'm literally sculpting a bevel. Like, I mean, it's that easy. Um, when it comes to controlling like your edge flow, say like in ZBrush, or just playing around with hard surfacery. But I mean, for most of my stuff, when I get in here, like I said, the robot demo always give this, but I mean, I've literally get in here, cut much stuff like this, and it's really more designed, like knowing Tony Leonard and all the great artists that I know who are the people I consider robot masters, they've taught me so much about design. But I mean, if I was like having to put a strip on this guy, I could just, throw in a mesh, you know, Alt M, merge everything at the center, change it to vertex mode, turn on snapping, phase. Sorry, I'm probably talking fast again. And we're just going to snap this on here. And really, when it comes to hard surfacery, what your main thing is your edge flow. Like your edge flow is going to determine how it's going to behave whenever it's subdivided. So basically, I've created like this solid piece just out of the blue. But I mean, imagine that I was doing this all over the creature, which is what you're basically going to see in my videos, me going all up and down the back, making these little strips, turning them into this, and then going through what I call the hardening process. And hardening is basically the process of, one moment.
One moment. But yeah, again, for retopologizing a hard surface, I'll probably do that in an external program, most likely Maya and that multi, was it again? Multi-tool? Something like that. Yeah, I'd use that. And Jerry would obviously use Blender, and you probably just model it straight from Blender.
Or even Zbrush, but because of my edge flow, like this is a simple piece, but imagine, intelligently controlling your edges so that way, like normally you'd want like a C loop. If you don't know what a C loop is, this is like basic geometric modeling stuff, but I mean, we put this one here, and we put this one here. Basically, we've created what's called a C loop. Notice that it rounds out. Like this is like something I see noobs do all the time, or just beginners. Now, because of the way it is, it's going to be a lot harder to control that. So, I mean, to harden it, really, I would have to add a loop cut and like put it here. But really, just know that that is slightly less efficient than just leaving it like this, and actually having the ability to slide this back, take this, slide it down. And then Blender, you double tap G to slide. But notice that by adding loops to harden this, now I've given this a custom bevel. So I mean, I can slide it back even more, slide its bevel back even more, and then now there's like more of a bevel happening. And then it's just sliding this one here, sliding this one here. So intelligent edge flow will let you really control your surfaces as far as like their hardness and transitions, and then like whether it's round or creased. And then you don't even have to deal with like the crease tool, which sometimes doesn't work, whenever you merge stuff. So, that's my opinion on it.
Alrighty. And I guess we don't have any other questions. Yeah. Thanks for everybody for watching. Next month we're gonna have another one of these with Jeff and Brad. Jeff again is our co-owner of Dead Panic and also the 2D artist, and Brad is should have this mesh at least ready to show you how to rig it, and we'll show you that on the Gumroad as well. So thank you again for everybody watching, and if you have any other comments or questions, please put them in the chat or the comment section, obviously, so we can make the each one of these shows better and better, make them more and more helpful for all of you, and that's what the show is all about. So thank you again to all of you for watching, and we will catch you next month.
Next time I will prepare.
And thank you, Jerry. And we will catch you later. Say bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.